Hey friends, it is Amanda with Metal Modern Design and Deep South Shelling. You guys, I am a coastal crafter from Navarre, Florida, and I have got a project for you today. It's not even completely coastal. It is this beautiful cardinal design. You can see the iced branch there up against a white surface, which of course I didn't think to bring, but you can see that branch a whole lot better. It is a glass and resin design made with a cardinal, and it's great for in memoriam type pieces. If you, for instance, are a wreath maker, you can make a funeral spray or a wreath and put this right in it. And then after the event, you can take this out and now you have a long-term keepsake. If you're just a resin crafter like me, I just hang these right on the wall and I sell them in booths, and we do these in workshops and whatnot. So I'm going to show you how to make one. You guys, I have a kit available over at Deep South Shelling, and I also have individual products if you would rather just have an individual cardinal. It starts out as an ornament, and I'm about to show you how to do that. Let's angle you down and we'll get right started. Okay, so this is how your cardinal is going to come. He is actually an ornament, and we sell just the ornaments over at deepsouthshelling.com too. Okay, so I'm just gonna take a pair of wire cutters and I'm gonna grab a hold of that hook and it pops right out. We're just gonna discard that. Now there'll be a little tiny dot at the center where that came off. If that bothers you, it doesn't bother me, but if it bothers you, you can just touch it up with just a tiny bit of red or black paint. The next thing we're gonna use is an iced branch. Now, what I will tell you is you don't have to use an iced branch. It's a different season these days, and I'm sure you can find all kinds of florals that are more green, berries, different things. It doesn't have to be an iced branch. I don't know about you guys, but I skip the arm day sometimes and I could tell. Okay, so just clipped off the end of it. We're just gonna angle it kind of here. So I know I want kind of one branch coming off kind of this way, and then I want a couple kind of more straight. So we'll kind of do this, and we're just gonna snip off a couple of these little tips all the way around so it's not too long. I didn't say this is going to be a clean, neat craft. We've got a little mess brewing, and that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put it here. We're going to take some shell mix, and this is just some crushed natural shell mixed with a little bit of gold glass and seashell. We're just going to kind of put a base down here. Just a little bit of a base. I like to anchor it in with a little something. We're just going to kind of pull this down and kind of anchor this in to kind of see what we're working with here. So we've just got a bit of an anchor. We can even come back and put just a little bit of that shell like right up to our stem there. This is just kind of, you know, a picture window of a tree branch. So that's kind of the look we're going for. So we've got that there. We're going to come in with our pretty little cardinal, and he's going to sit about right there. And we're going to add clear glass. Add some clear glass all around. And this is the Starlight Ultra Clear glass. Okay, and then we're just going to get our cardinal in there, and he's just going to kind of sit right atop that glass and everything. Now, if you want a little added dimension, we've got a little bit of this iridescent glass, and it's just going to look like a little bit of sparkle, maybe a little snow. So we're just going to add just a tiny bit of it. Doesn't take much. Okay, so from here, your design is ready. It's just that quick. So what you need to do from here is, if you've got long hair, I want you to pull it back, because if you get resin in your hair, it will not come out. You'll have to cut it out. Also, if you notice, I'm working on a silicone mat. So you could use a tarp, a shower curtain. You can get these things at Dollar Tree, or a little silicone mat. You need a pair of nitrile gloves to protect your hands and your skin. And I'm going to be using Art Resin brand resin. If you get a full kit, it'll have a 2-ounce pack in it, just like this. And so it's 1 part resin, 1 part hardener. This one is no VOCs and no BPAs. So it's, for resin, it's about as non-toxic as it can be. There are certain groups who do have allergies to resin, so just use caution, read all the manufacturer's precautions. Okay, and what it will tell you is this little 2-ounce kit, the instructions will tell you to slide off the center piece and to knead it together in the packet. I don't do that. I push it all away from the corners. I snip the corner and I pour it all into a cup, and then I stir it for 3 full minutes in the cup. And I use much larger bottles, and so of course that's what I have done. I have mixed it for 3 full minutes. I'm actually going to change out my stick because I want just a little bit bigger stick, a bigger one. And then all we're going to do is we're going to start right around our cardinal, and we're just going to come right up around him and drizzle that resin in. You guys, resin works best when used in 70 to 72 degree temperatures. You're going to need to let it sit for about 12 hours, and you want it to be protected from dog hair, cat hair, dust. I usually pour resin at night before going to bed, or at least I did when I worked at home. I'm in the studio now, so I usually pour before I leave for the day. So I come right up around that cardinal because the resin's what's going to hold it down. And then I pick a spot and I come over to the edge and I just drip right around the edge. Now off the lip of my cup, I see I had a drip on my frame. What I like to do with those is I'm going to let that dry, and 12 hours from now when I come back to this piece, it'll just flick off with my fingernail, and that's the easiest way. If you wait longer than 12 hours, it gets a little harder to flick off any little drips. All you got to do is add a little heat, and then they'll peel right up. I prepped this frame by gluing the glass to the frame. I used E6000. Here now we're just going to come over these branches. We want to make sure the iced part of the branch is good and secure. We also want to drizzle resin in between all the glass chunks that are laying there. Give it a good coat. This is going to take about 1.5 ounces of resin. So if you've got larger bottles of resin, all you need is about 1.5 ounces. That's 3/4 of an ounce of resin and 3/4 of an ounce of hardener. I'm just going to drip this all over our base. We want to make sure it's really good and right up next to our cardinal, whatever that takes. Make sure. And this will be a great piece for in memoriam type designs. Okay, so give me just a second. I'm going to slip off my gloves, and we're going to grab a heat tool. This is just an embossing tool I'm using. And this will pop any bubbles in the resin. You want to keep the heat moving so you don't burn the resin. So what we will do with this is we will let it sit for about 12 hours. We'll come in and take a good look at it. We'll flick off any little resin drips that might be there. And it is dry to the touch in 12 hours, fully cured in 48 to 72 hours. If you're going to put it in a wreath or something of that nature, or if you're going to hang it in a booth, I would give it the full dry time of 48 to 72 hours before you do that. Otherwise, at 12 hours, you're good to hang it right on the wall. And let me show you what it looks like finished. So pretty and so easy. You guys, if you want to take a look at the ornaments or the kits, they're over at deepsouthshelling.com. And if you don't follow me over at Metal Modern Design on Facebook, I invite you to do so. You guys, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye now, friends.